Good start. Good start. Can't complain. I'm going to shuffle these for a minute, but those just fell out as I tried to pick up the deck off the table. Oh. Whoa. And then we got the Page of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the Six of Wands. Following the World and the Eight of Pentacles. Heavy earth energy here. With both of those pentacle cards. The Eight of Pentacles can speak about self-employment. It can also really speak about putting your stamp on things in particular, like if there's some sort of judgment in reverse. Interesting. Ten of Pentacles upright. Interesting. It seems like there may be some sort of specific craft or repetitive sort of finishing touch that you put on your pieces. Maybe you're an artist, or maybe it's a way that you cook. You just kind of consistently put out meals with a specific type of flavor that can be counted upon to be consistent. It's kind of like an artist discovering their style, all of these sorts of themes around what makes your energetic stamp the way that it is, what makes what you do you. You know what I mean? And I think that you're doing a deep dive into your past, which can be a wise place to start in endeavors such as this. Because to remember who you are and what you want your style and your stamp to be, it takes a lot of effort of remembering who you were before all the programming got in. So let's see what else has to be said about that. The Magician in reverse and Death on its side. Well, when Judgment came out in reverse initially, I thought, oh, there's someone judging the collective's process about putting their stamp on things, or about going to their past to figure out what's going on in the now. We have the Five of Wands here. I'm picking up an energy around that I'm hearing has a bone to pick with, I'm sorry to be blunt this soon in the reading, but the way you do things. And I think what the sense that I'm getting with the Five of Wands early on is that they expect a level of competitiveness from you that I don't think you want to show. And I heard admire. You don't admire certain aspects of competitive activity that bring out the worst in people in your mind. Here's the Five of Wands in reverse again. You really want to emphasize that you don't want to jump in the, like, on the mat with these people, basically. You know, you're like, I'm not in a race, I'm not in a rush, I don't want to wrestle, I don't want to punch, I don't want to compete. I want to live and put my stamp on things. I very much see you tending to your business, developing your life, developing your crafts, developing your recipes, developing your relationships, you know, whatever you're putting all of that beautiful, creative, productive energy into, you're very much minding your business about it. And there is energy over here which would like to challenge that, because they are judging the way in which you are either doing it or what, you know, what else, I'm not sure. Let's find out. Do I want to find it? Yes, I do. Four of Swords in reverse. Maybe you're doing kind of a tireless, ceaseless search, or that's how it appears to them, and maybe it is that way, but there's just a piece of information that you know you'll be able to find. It's reminding me of Blade Runner 2049 with Ryan Gosling, where, and so many other people, but that version of Blade Runner, and he's just kind of relentlessly searching his memories. Oh my goodness. You know, a lot of the basis of the movie is about that memory of him with the toy horse, if you've seen it. If you haven't, it's basically kind of, I mean, it's kind of a plot twist, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But there's a lot of memory searching and going to the past and going, this is what I remember it feeling like, this is what I remember happening. So if you've seen it, I'm sure maybe you can project yourself into that character's position. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But it's a really good, like, odyssey of... You can just zone out into it and still be learning a lot. Okay, I have a lot of cards that I want to address. Page of Wands, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Temperance in reverse, Five of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse, Four of Cups upright, Nine of Wands upright. It's very tired. Energy coming through, not tired in the way of, you know, looking or feeling worn out, but more so you're kind of tirelessly developing or tirelessly defending and searching. There's just a lot going on around you right now, and I think that this is really trying to point out this sort of oppositional energy. It's not always around, these people trying to cause trouble and start fights, but it does come around sometimes. But with the King of Pentacles here and the Four of Wands reversed, you're saying, oh, don't worry, I can take you on my own. I don't need anyone else here to support me taking you on. I can do this. Because I think you're feeling the level of protection against judgment that I'm hearing is your birthright. Yeah, you're like, I don't need this to be a group endeavor. I can perfectly well handling this oppositional energy on my own. Interesting. What's advice for the collective dealing with oppositional energy? What's the advice, Spirit? Wow. Okay. Queen of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck, and the Nine of Swords sideways, pointing at the world with the Eight of Pentacles. When you are developing your style, when you are developing these aspects of what you want to present that feel the most authentic to you, maybe you can do a meditation before going into a time of this sort of exploration of who you are, to say, I'm not going to allow old spooky stories to come in and interrupt my process of discovery right now, because I think that there is a past hurt that is lingering in your subconscious, unresolved trauma possibly, or just, you know, a betrayal, or your feelings getting hurt in some kind of whatever severity there is to this case. I think that that is what needs to be put on ice while you're doing these explorations. So don't let too much overlap happen with your investigation of the past and the current troubles which are trying to follow you back there, I assume. They want to hitch a ride to your past with you so they can learn more about you, but I don't think you want these people to know. I don't think you trust them, and that's why I think you're saying, I can handle you trying to get in my head the way that I don't want you to, basically. Cool. I mean, good for you. I love that. Yeah, don't let that. I mean, you don't need me telling you that. That's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to, like, reflect what's going on so that you have more intel going forward than you did before. That's what I kind of try to center myself with on this channel. It's just like, I just want to tell you stuff that you wouldn't know if you didn't listen to it. That's all. Not like you're indebted to me for talent. It's literally just, I'm trying to look out. I'm trying to look out for those who are vulnerable and who have been messed with, always. And this feels like a way of getting through to people I wouldn't be able to get through to otherwise, potentially. Or, you know, just at this current time. Absolutely. Anyway, we have the Two of Cups on its side over the Magician in reverse and Judgment in reverse. There's some kind of connection, bond, friendship, partnership, business partnership, you know, any way that you can define a relationship basically between one person and another is defying and withstanding this other person's attempt to soil your name, is what I heard. And I'm sorry to just say so often what I heard, because it feels hard sometimes to take responsibility for difficult things being said. But it's me, your ancestors, your guides, and my own teaming up here to give you the intel. So we have the Five of Cups that came out with the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I think that there is just someone in this group situation or in the immediate vicinity of this oppositional human or force or other thing that is perceiving your willingness to protect yourself as a level of sadness that would parallel depression. I don't think you or anyone around you agrees with that sentiment is the thing. I think that this person is trying to spread a message, I heard, to cause fear about you, possibly. The Eight of Swords in reverse. It's kind of like you're coming out of a really dark time, which maybe not immediately so, but maybe further in the past, and that's what you're finding when you're doing these past explorations. But somebody sees you coming out of it as a bad thing. Somebody sees you coming back with good information that makes sense to you as a problem. It's not, but I want to mention what these problems could sound like in your mind if they do get through. Sometimes it gets through, and then you take on other people's thoughts as like downloads of your own. I don't want to get too far into that, but basically I just want to say what they're saying so that you can possibly identify it coming into your field without your permission. Hopefully that makes more sense. This love that you have with another person or for another person, or just this connection that you're building with someone, possibly around this other person, is growing into mental clarity. It's growing into reflecting on your past, not only in an emotional way, but in a logistical, logical, rational way, in a very earthy, earth-based kind of way. So you are looking at this other area of the map. There's kind of like this fear-mongering about your return, but I really want to say recovery, your return to self, your return to form. You know what I mean? Like, you're focused on the things that will create growth in your spiritual life and in your field and in your soul and in your heart. And I think this is a situation that has gone on for a long time in humanity, which is people are not afraid. Well, I was trying to say people are afraid, but people are not afraid is what came out, so I'm going to try to run with it. Are not afraid to pull you back down. They're not afraid to try to put you, I'm hearing, into form. The thoughts are coming in a little a little strange. Let's see if we can get kind of a clear sentence out, please, Spirit. Three of Cups. I think you're just saying, I have more people on my side than you know. I am more armed than you could ever see. I am more protected. And I mean spiritually armed, or, however you are armed, There's just a lot of confidence in you at this time. And you're looking at this other direction saying, I can handle you on my own because I'm backed by spirit and by this other person's energy, or, this harmony and this other aspect of my life, or asset, I wanted to say. I find a lot of value in trying to put my stamp on things and trying to be myself and find my most authentic, centered place in the world and in my own body. And that has nothing to do with irrational fears that hold no sway when I compare them to what has really happened. I think that there's just been a lot of projected confusion tried to be thrown your way when you've never felt so clear, but it's not something that you feel safe to talk to everyone about at this time. Because I'm not sure if you know exactly who this person is, but I think you know which direction it's coming from. We had the Tower come out over the world. The Tower in reverse come out over the world. I'm hearing mountains out of molehills. Like, I think people are trying to attribute some sort of disastrous situation to you when it's actually impossible. And let's see. Let's see. Let's see more. There's already a lot of cards out here, but let's just keep going. Oh, we have one from another deck that ended up in here again. Let's see what it is. Seven of Wands in reverse. I just think your defensiveness, your defenses, I can't tell. It seems like they're down, but it also seems like you're very capable of defending yourself. Let's grab more cards to see what's going on here. With the Four of Cups in reverse, next to the Tower in reverse, it just seems like there was a big attempt to agitate you at some point, and you didn't take the bait, basically. Do we have the Nine of Swords in reverse again? I think this is kind of like a real-life cheat code moment where you're realizing how to sort out negative feelings and projections and expressions and things that have happened while still addressing the emotional wounds that need to be addressed, and then turning around and not throwing it towards this other person that you're building with. So there's a difference between compartmentalizing to the point where you don't even know who you are, which you're making sure that doesn't happen. You're making sure that enough of you is in the room at all times in order to remain in yourself in a level-headed way. And there's somebody here saying that that's a problem, and I say that they're a problem. I hope this all makes sense. Moon. It feels a little scary. That's what I'm getting. It feels a little scary. Hold on, we'll find out what else is going on here. They try, like, the Justice in reverse and the Seven of Swords in reverse. They. Who are they? You know, it's just the energy of fear. That's really what I'm getting. It's just someone scared out of their wits, and that can become 13 people in your life all at the same time. It's like a zombie virus that spreads. The sun. And it hasn't touched you. Whatever this illness of fear is, it's not touching you because, yes, judgment has been in the reverse before. You know what it is to be judged in a very specific kind of way. That feels disempowering. And you're saying, I'm only letting the empowering things near me at this point. And you're not... I'm sensing that you're not taking it out on yourself. You're not angry that you didn't do it sooner. You're just so happy that you're here now. You're so happy that you're here now. That's why anyone who is trying to mitigate or minimize what you have accomplished and what you are experiencing now and what you have seen through this process, they're gonna run into a wall. They're gonna fall flat because you're navigating your past with intelligence now. You're navigating your past not with something you haven't had before, which is what my brain wanted to make a silly, mean joke of just saying, here's the intelligence. No, you've always held this level of intelligence. I just think acknowledging that you are not afraid to use it now is the thing. It's not that it hasn't been here, but you have not felt the full benefits of what happens when you use it in a verbal way is what I'm hearing and what I'm saying. Freedom in reverse. Freedom in reverse. What is freedom in reverse talking about? I do not respond to intimidation tactics in reverse. Fear. Someone is trying to intimidate someone. Someone is trying to intimidate you, possibly. And you're just saying, let it die in reverse and rest required in reverse. Oh, my goodness, this is kind of sticky energy. You're kind of saying you could be interrogating me with vicious tactics and I wouldn't talk. It's like, no, I'm not tired and I don't need rest, and no, I'm not necessarily trying to end a relationship or even a situation. It's just that I am comfortable with the with the confines within which I exist at this moment in time, and you can't scare me with it's this again, just the carrot on a string down the end of the road that has you chasing it around. You're understanding what's real and what is theatricality. Your feeling of a lack of freedom is very real. But the theatricality of the intimidation tactics, which is trying to instill that fear, you're seeing that as baloney. You're like, I call bullshit until the end of time on whatever that is. Yeah, I just heard the healing season is over, which is contradictory to like going to your past and healing things moving forward, but I don't know, time is odd in how it works, so all these things could be happening simultaneously, basically. Let's see what else we can pull out of the tarot. That was the silliest shuffle. Nine of Cups in reverse. I just heard this is no longer just about me. You're learning to see the bigger picture and how it spurts out or zooms out from your own personal experience in life. You're learning to expand that out and becoming the center of your belief. The Hermit in reverse. Yeah, well, you're saying I can't hide from this anymore. I know that there's a level of dissatisfaction, but it's not changing the optimism that I feel is how I'm channeling your energy. You feel optimistic and you feel confronted with circumstances and you feel afraid to leave your hovel, your little hermit cave, but you're doing it anyway. You're saying, okay, this is bigger than me, is what I'm hearing from you. I think that's a super cool moment. I think that is, I just see you like throwing off a jacket or a big blanket or just something that was concealing something about you that needed to be known. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. It's pretty big coming out right there. You moving forward from this place of personal discomfort and into the literal cold of exposing yourself to the elements is bringing a new opportunity towards you very rapidly, I just heard. It's going to be a no-brainer. It feels like you're not even going to have to make a choice. I really think this separation of unhealed trauma from finding what makes your style specific and something that will work moving forward is the key. The Emperor in reverse. He's been showing up upside down a lot. I just heard, I don't want to work alone. I want to be collaborative. So I don't know. I just think you're Wheel of Fortune. I think you're ready to work with other people. If it's been a minute, I think you're feeling ready to come back into the fold of society in whatever, in whatever way feels suitable to you at this moment. Page of Wands on its side. You're deciding right now how you want to show up. You're deciding what you want to say. And letting people see that process can be intimidating, but it's worthwhile. You've seen people go through amazing transformations before, and you can apply how that played out to your own example, to your own process, to your own pattern of growth. Let's get more on this Emperor in reverse, please. I mean, you're not feeling the most certain, especially with this lack of freedom and play. No Emperor, and with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse, it's just kind of no one's necessarily in direct control here. So the Emperor is a very controlling energy. The Emperor in reverse is kind of overly controlling, maybe like a bit of a tyrant. So I think with that, it's saying don't lose your head, don't lose your cool, just act the way you would if you were driving. If you were in the driver's seat is what I heard. If you don't drive and you can't relate, let's see if this card can give us another metaphor. If you were the one choosing the next aspect of your life, if you were the one seeing the next part of your destiny and saying, that's actually what I want to do, that feeds into your style, which feeds into your output, which feeds into your personality and your understanding of yourself. I think you really want to move away. The Emperor reverses here twice. I just think that there was an aspect of you that people really identified with before and are waiting to come back, and you're just saying, no, it's not coming back. Or just, I'm not going to act the way that you thought I would. I don't, let's see. The Ace of Cups. It's a bit of a dissociative card. I'm going to dissociate from that version. What is this decision being driven by? We had two cards stick behind here when I picked this up, so let's see. Ace of Cups upright and Ace of Swords reversed. This decision is driven by choosing a path. In order to choose the path that you know that you want, you're seeing not the changes that you have to make, but like what you're going to have to give up. And it's not... Basically, you're going to have to give up being the Emperor, if I'm going to put that in a very simple and straightforward kind of way. And so being in total control of the entire operation, not so much. But being someone who is down to earth and maybe more of an Empress energy, you know, it's walking away from one energy leads to another. So what can we look forward to in replacement of the Emperor energy? Page of Swords. This is interesting. It might mean that you're choosing to start at an earlier standpoint in a different field, or if it's not about career, you're trying a new communication style, or a new journaling method. There's a lot with swords and communication and just, you know, wordsmithy things. The Emperor again, he's sideways now. He's trying to get up. The Sun in reverse and the Hanged Man. I just think it's going to be pretty difficult to take an assertive and authoritative position in your life until you have carefully and lovingly sorted through the things which need attention put on them without the hindrance of residual unresolved trauma. Can we get one hint as to how to move towards that? Let's get 3 hints. Two of Pentacles, Six of Cups in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. It's kind of... It's saying use your intuitive powers and your memory at separate times. So when you're going to think about things in the past that have happened, it's not the biggest time to do spell work or, you know, do any, like, a ton of tarot readings or any kind of divination. It's more so like kind of trade between diving into your past and and discovering who you are now, basically. Or and divination for the future. It's getting a little messy here, but yes, between going to your past and using your intuition, basically. Try to use those methods and times separately if you can. Just try it out. Just a simple exercise, all right? I really hope this helped. Stay cool and awesome and safe out there.